Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 House of Mordecius, where, unfortunately, I think that the latest update to the game, the All Under Heaven sort of DLC slash update that they've done, adding Japan and various aspects of Eastern Asia to the game, I'm afraid that it might have borked everything up, including the House of Mordecius save file. If you look at this guy here, he definitely looks a little bit different than our character looked before, and I'm not really sure if that's because of the update or if it's because of maybe just like something happened between, you know, the last year or so of House of Mordecius and now that just made him look that way and I maybe didn't notice. I don't really know. But either way, when I started up the game, it definitely looked quite a bit different. There was a lot more to the map, and the map itself was kind of like glowing pink with all these weird lines going everywhere. Now, I exited out of the game to see if reloading it might fix it, but if it doesn't, there honestly might just be no more House of Mordecius to be played. I'm really hoping that that's not the case because, I mean, this series so far has been incredibly fun, and it's been pretty much the most successful thing that I've done on my YouTube channel thus far, so it would really suck to have to kind of abandon that because of an update to the game. And I saw this coming too, because when they announced this big update, I kind of like thought that something like this might happen. This is something that often happens with not only Crusader Kings 3, but a lot of different games where if you have a save file from an older version of the game, and then you try to play that same file on a new version, it just sometimes screws everything up. And as you can see here, the map, while again much larger than it originally was, just has all of these insane looking lines like everywhere, and it's hard to really like tell why that's happened. Okay, and now it's gone away. But yeah, a lot of things just kind of look a little bit differently. Like you can see a little bit more, I feel like you can see a little bit more topography in like the actual nations now. But yeah, I mean, the pink lines appear to have gone away, so maybe we'll just let a little time pass and see how things go. But I do want to say that like there is a serious risk that because of the nature of this game, that the update might make it to where the game crashes or has severe bugs or things like that. I'm not really sure what the grander kind of problems with this save file might be, but as we continue, you know, guys, just keep in mind that like the series might be in peril here because of a massive update to the game. I tried to keep the game from actually being able to update through Steam, but Steam doesn't really like you doing that apparently, and so it just kind of forced me to update to even open the game, and it just kind of is what it is. But if you like this video, please make sure to like it. If you have anything you'd like to add to this conversation, please make sure to comment it, and make sure to subscribe so you get notified when I upload a new video. So ignoring the fact for now that our character just looks wildly different than he did in the last episode, we're gonna continue with our efforts of romancing High Chiefess Serlaith here on New Year's Day of 878. When High Chiefess Serlaith suggested a hunt, I did not hesitate to organize one. I would do anything for a mere glimpse of my dearest. I am stalking through the underbrush, my page at my heel and my hound just ahead. It seems as if it has found a trail. Then suddenly my concentration is shattered by a woman's scream. I am coming for you, my love. We'll see how that turns out. I'm not exactly the best fighter in the world. Could be putting myself in serious risk here. And on the 3rd of January, 878, my daughter is born to Sierre, my new wife. Or newest wife, I suppose. This is now, is this like my 13th child? You can see that people like Constance here have just like been completely annihilated by this update. Constance is now a man of only eyeballs. Sierre looks a little bit different too, if I am not mistaken. I don't know. This is really sucky. Let's pick a good Irish name for our daughter here. Oh, I like Lucia. Yeah, Lucia is a good name for our daughter. Boom. The scheme is successful. Within what must have been a minute, but felt like an hour, I reach a clearing. Serlaith is on the ground before me, disheveled and weaponless. Opposite her, and just about to strike, stands a huge stag. My arrow strikes true, and the beast falls to the ground. For a moment, all Serlaith can do is stare. But then she stumbles towards me and throws herself into my arms. I need you, my love, right here and now. So High Chiefess Serlaith is going to become our soulmate. She gains 10 opinion of us. We lay with her, which might get her pregnant. And it ends our scheme to romance High Chiefess Serlaith, because she done been romanced. Found our soulmate. You and High Chiefess Serlaith found true love after you rescued High Chiefess Serlaith from a wolf. I thought it was a stag. I was pretty sure that that was the case, but whatever. So we've got another offer for confederation here, and this is coming from our boy Chieftain Sinead of Leinster. And I'm a little bit tempted to accept this confederation because, you know, as time goes on, we're going to be more and more in need of having people to stand by our backs as people kind of come in from the outside to try to devour the lands of Ireland. The only thing that's weighing against that want for safety is my want for more lands and for Ireland to be controlled not by a confederation of free states, but by me. You know, we are really low on troops right now, and it would actually be very, very helpful to form this confederacy. I think we're going to do it, because here's the thing. We can always abandon the confederation if at a later date we feel like it's not really working out for us. But I think right now we really, as opposed to focusing on expanding our lands, we need to focus on building up our army, you know, gathering massive amounts of gold, and sort of quote-unquote playing tall, as the CK3 nerds like to call it, which is basically just developing the lands that you have and building up buildings and fortifications and all kinds of stuff in the lands that you own, as opposed to expanding out to new lands. So we're going to join this confederation just to keep us safe and to make sure that our neighbors have our backs. With High Chieftain Sinead's Irish and the warriors of Munster surrounding us, we mingle blood and promise confederation. We will be many, brother, watching over these lands, cries Sinead, gripping me close, fighting as wolves of the same pack, one no better, no hungrier than any other. My promises belong to every one of its whelpish wolves. Yeah, this kid's 16, and he's thinking that we're, like, on level footing here. But, for now, yeah, we will live or die, side by side. I'm trying to see... Let's change the view here really quick. It doesn't look like the Confederation is really visible on the map yet. But that's fine, because we would like to retain as much Munster-ness as possible. Wait a second. Why is it allowing us to call for Confederation when we just joined the Confederation? I don't know. Again, it's hard to tell how much some of this is being influenced by the jankiness of the recent update, or, you know, if it actually is just like part of the Confederation process. I don't really know. We're gonna let some time pass here and just kind of see what happens. It could be just because it's been a while since I played, but there just feels like there's so much more detail in the map, like the ocean, so much more oceany. Our wife inspires recruitment. The Earldom of Desmond gained focused recruitment for 10 years, and that's because of High Chiefess Serlaith's average martial skill. Excellent, my darling. So yeah, it said that we joined the Confederation, but I really am not seeing anything that's confederating, so I'm wondering if we're still technically considered independent, even though I selected that particular thing. Oh, there's also a completely new tab over here on the tab, John, called Situations. There's nothing really here yet, but interesting. Well, let's see what happens as we continue further into 878. We're crossing into February here. We never really checked out our lands down here that we've recently acquired. Enos has got, of course, the tribe of Enos, spelled a bit differently, here on the coast. We've got some nice wetlands surrounding it, some nice forest here bordering the eastern part. And then Chieftain Duncod's land, or at least what used to be Chieftain Duncod's land of Ormond. He's got a bishopric here of Imlay Chubair. He's got Port Lairs here on the eastern coast. And yeah, just a nice little chunk of land down here that we've acquired. The Duchy of Munster is just like a beautiful, beautiful chunk of land here. And made even more beautiful here as we enter into the spring. Just completely green and lush. And as we said about expanding our military, I'm going to increase the size of our light footmen here up to 5, the maximum. And I'm going to look into maybe creating another regiment of men-at-arms. see what we can do about making some horsemen. It is rather expensive. We'll hold off on creating a whole nother regiment at this exact point. But yeah, always good to just kind of keep expanding our armies as much as we can while we're at peace, because doing it while we're at war is certainly a lot more difficult. Hi, Chiefess Sir Laith, what do you got there, girl? What do you got there? You got yourself a little stick of bread? What is that? Once again, just another thing that has been borked by the All Under Heaven mandate. And High Chiefess Samson is now bearing our child. We find this out here in 8th of May, 878. Always good to keep expanding the family dynasty. How you holding up here, Dodgus? You've been in jail for 14 months. How you doing there, bud? And High Chieftain Samson is once again absent from our chamber as night falls, so we're suspecting High Chiefess Samson of being unfaithful once again. Actually, I don't remember if it's once again or if this is the first time. Even though it'll stress us out a little bit, I think I'm gonna try to investigate this myself. High Chiefess Samson is innocent. That's good. Ecstatic peasantry. The peasants in the earldom of Desmond are in a good mood. The harvest is bountiful, the roads are safe, and the village elders are telling nonsensical stories of cows producing honey-laden milk and geese laying golden eggs. The peasants are praising me for their fortune and have sent a delegation carrying gifts. So we can accept their gifts of 15 gold. We could send soldiers to collect more gifts. Meaning we would get 75 gold and 22 dread, but we would really mess up the earldom of Desmond. Or we can just say, no, keep the gifts, I don't need them, you do. And we gain county reinvestment for 10 years. I think I'm going to choose that. We're relatively okay, we're not in debt or anything. If we were in debt, maybe then I would consider taking their 15 gold, but for right now I think it's probably better to just let people do their thing. This is going to be a couple years, I think, of just like building up Munster and really focusing on peace and focusing on prosperity, so that when it comes time to go for conquest and war, we have the resources to actually pull it off. High Chieftain! My friend Kassane approaches me with urgency. A local merchant has a copy of the influential Regula Pastoralis, but refuses to sell it to me. If you make him see the error of his way, I would be in your debt. Well, either making sure that Kassane gets the book or acquiring the book ourselves costs us 50 gold, which we do not have. And this option only makes Kassane lose 10 opinion of us, so Kassane, this sounds like a you problem. I hate that so often, you know, Kassane is our friend, but so often he ends up getting like the short end of the stick. Just because, you know, that's just the way things work out sometimes. Connacht has raised an army down here. Got a few armies that are down here. Army of Weemon and army of Vesterland. What they're doing over here, I know not. Oh, and yet another child we have outlived. Young Patricia is no more. So many kids have died to this plague that it really makes me feel like I completely mishandled it, which really sucks. We have a lot of dead kids. A lot of dead kids. Rest in peace, little Patricia. If she dies of consumption, we gain 32 stress, which not looking good here. We might look into lashing out here in anger. Oh, we can't do it again until October of next year, because we've done it so often. Lord Almighty. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, quite literally. And our low control in Ormond has gained us a Thieves Guild for 10 years. We really need to get a handle on these counties that we have here. The thing is, though, is that Airlaid is still controlling Enos, and while progress is going good, we still need to be able to... We want to have at least marginal control in, like, each of our counties, and we just don't quite have that yet. Oh, and Dodgus is dead. My prisoner Dodgus has died in my dungeons. Serves you right, douche. You know, heavy is the head that wears the crown, but sometimes being royalty just comes with certain perks. And that includes locking up your enemies and allowing them to be tortured to death. And High Chiefess Flan has lost the trait consumption. Thank God. High Chiefess Flan also has a big breadstick. Perhaps that is what cured her of her consumption. Going into November of 878, and the snow is creeping across the land, Here, we'll zoom in here and see how different our land looks as we go into the winter. Winter is coming, or is it already here? But yeah, pretty peaceful year here in Munster, all things considered. You know, we continue to lose loved ones, including children, and the villain of our story thus far, Dodgus, has been slain. All we're doing now is basically just making sure that our lands are upkept, protected, that they have control, and allowing Airlaid some time to just kind of exert control over our counties, so we can make sure that we are in a good position for the future. And consumption, balanced humors, looks like Drognath is now healthy, thank the Lord. My beloved son and heir is well once more. It's difficult to not shed a tear of joy. Wonderful news, Jesus be praised. And like we've said in the past, you know, Drognath McDrognath is the heir we're trying to set up for success, so the fact that he's healthy again is very, very good news. We want to make sure that he is able to be successful here in the coming future. Oh, you know what I just realized is that this is supposed to be Earldom of Mordecius, but it says Desmond, and our house is no longer House Mordecius. And that sucks. And Samthon has another daughter for us here. And if we name her after High Chiefess Samthon's mother, her name will be Aelenora, which actually is Eleonora. I think that's how you would say it. It's actually super pretty, so I'll go ahead and name her that. Oh, and you know what? I forgot I think our last 3 children I have not yet, or our last 2 children I haven't even educated because I've been so distracted by the many, many glitches and screw-ups of the save file. We'll go ahead and have Serlaith watch over Lucia, and we will go ahead and have Taithlik, our champion, watch after Eleonora. Our house relation improves. So the house of Brune, whose house head is High Chieftain Murdoch, they've become a little bit closer with us. And Mugron, who's the son of Murdoch, has become friends with us. Or sorry, has become friends with our son, Drognath McDrognath. How adorable. And here we are on the 31st of December, 878. The year is over, and, you know, some ups and downs, but I think overall we're able to continue plunging forward with Munster the way it is. I want to take a second here to, you know, thank you guys very much for watching this series and continuing to check it out. Our last video, the last one that I uploaded got like 113 views in the first couple of days, which is a very, very successful video in terms of comparing it with other videos on my channel. What I want to ask you guys is the game still playable? In its current state, do we want to continue even with the glitches and with the jankiness of everything and continue with House of Mordecius, or do we want to convert to maybe something like House of Mordecius Reborn, where we play as like one of the new countries, you know, Japan or something like that, and do this same format just with a different land? Because honestly, me personally, I'm okay with maybe just continuing the save file and enjoying the jankiness for what it is. I think that like part of this series and part of this experience has been kind of displaying Crusader Kings 3 for what it is and what the actual kind of experience of playing it is like. And sometimes that experience is getting a massive update and it completely borking the file that you've been playing for, you know, the past several weeks. It's just kind of the way it is. So there is something kind of realistic and true to the nature of the game that I think is cool, but I also understand that from a viewership perspective, sometimes it's kind of like breaks the immersion of, you know, some of the characters and family members and stuff, and they're all holding breadsticks. Just makes it kind of strange. I want to hear from you guys. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do we want to continue on with a different land? Do we want to continue on with Munster the way it is and just sort of enjoy the glitches and everything that comes with the jankiness of the update? Yeah, I want you guys to let me know. And I also want to let you guys know that we are pushing for 100 subscribers by the end of 2025. It's a big, big goal. Currently, right now, we sit at 67 subscribers. It would be awesome if we could get to 100 by the end of the year. I don't expect to be able to meet that goal, but it would be amazing if that was possible. So what I want you guys to do is share this series with anyone who you think would enjoy it. Anybody who plays Crusader Kings 3, anybody who's into role-playing, anybody who, you know, you think might enjoy a sort of long-form, serialized kind of is that the word? I don't know. Yeah, serialized, I guess, like series on YouTube following the story of this house. Anybody you think might enjoy that tale. Through that, hopefully we can get a few more subscribers and hit our goal of 100 by the end of the year. But again, the people who are here, who actually watch the show and enjoy it for what it is and keep coming back, I can't express to you guys how much that means to me. The whole point of this channel is just trying to entertain the people who manage to stumble across it from across the internet, and making the people who find it feel a little bit less alone in their time that they spend here watching my videos. That's the whole point of this. And so if you felt like that, you know, this channel is for you, and I appreciate you coming back to watch. So, once again, people, like the video if you like it, comment down below, let me know what you think. Make sure to subscribe so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. But other than that, folks, I will see you next time.